Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Starters Order 7, and today we're back with our flat save in the US, a brand new schedule. And not a bad start, I have to say. Not a bad start at all. But yeah, we did put some horses in the barn last time around. We did plan out 4 horses, our 4-year-olds. Tidal Force running at a mile. Much Demure running at a mile 1. Demolition Damager running at a mile 2. And Promise Princess running at a mile 4. Now, I still think that's good. We didn't have quite the results we wanted. This just didn't work out, but we were blocked off and we were unsettled going in the paddock and so on and so forth. This, again, not really the best run, but all 3 of these, I think there's plenty of reasons why not quite that distance there, because yeah, we probably want a mile 6 to a mile 7. So like I say, jockey instructions is going to be key. We're going to have to really adapt down and up to distances a touch more. But I do like the way we have fought these distances, and we're able to kind of run so many races across this season, hit pretty much all the big feature races that we want to do, and I think have a realistic shot at winning them. So we are going to get blocked off at times. We are going to get just poor performances. We are going to come up against super horses. We are going to get pink and blue triangles. We're going to get little niggling injuries. We're going to get the stable virus, which we had, which also limits your ability a little bit. So all these kind of things are going to come into play. And you can't really do anything about that. So I'm not getting too wound up about it. I do really need to be sure when bad things happen, is it the horse or is it a circumstance? And I feel like a lot of this so far is circumstance, which is what you want. You want bad circumstances with good horses. Because when those bad circumstances don't happen, and they won't a lot of the time, that good horse will carry through and win. So I have faith in my 4-year-olds. I've spent a little time looking over things, thinking about it, and I'm still at the point where I do think we're right, and we've got some good races, and I'm happy enough with that. On the 2-year-olds, getting that win with Life Quest, I feel is just huge. The fact we can get a grid 2 this early, I think is fantastic. It was a soft track. We like a good track, so that's completely wrong. The distance I felt was right. Everything else I felt pretty good at. What we didn't see here was kind of that, big push at the end so much. But we did hold off a really nice closer. And like I say, the ground, I think, is kind of to play for that. We even set, like, a good time at the racecourse while not enjoying the ground. So if the ground was right, I think you'll probably see a lot more out of Life Quest. So I'm very happy with that. And then the other 2-year-old gets a grade 3 to now sort of emulate that. So yeah, we'll kind of see how Hurrah plays out. But I kind of like the 2-year-olds. I'm really not sure what they're going to look like next year and what Triple Crowns will be able to run, if any. The 4-year-olds here, I think, are good, and we're going to see how good. 140 race, who knows? No 3-year-olds, so we're only limited to Tidal Force in the New Zealand Triple Crown, which in this version is still the 3-year-olds and older race, not 3-year-olds only. And, yeah. It's all about then what we've got here, and looks like we've got a distance horse in Hosanna Smile with some pretty decent bars, good potential, but missing a lot else. Your limit's a little low on the stamina, but most of the yearlings will be. That just does show that when you have a full stamina bar, at some point in your career, you're probably going to gain a lot of stamina. So your limit, again, pretty good. A little low in places, but again, pretty good. Pacific, again, very good, and actually has very, very nice extra speed. So could turn into something. Better fares, solid. So Gold Quest, not a bad sire. Right now, Dragon, who we really do like a lot, is going through our mares and make sure each of them are covered. And if we can get this extra speed in and keep or boost the potential rating like I think we can, then that could be quite fun. Hague Violetta as well. Already losing a bunch of its potential. I don't love this. I'm kind of considering not breeding from Hague Violetta, if I'm honest, just because this shows up with big light green bars again on the foals. And until you fill this out in a season, you're not going to get any more potential to fill out the next year. So, yeah, if you've got more than 20%, you've got zero chance of filling it out. If you've got 20%, then you've probably got like a 5% chance of filling that out. If there's like 15%, then that's realistic. That's about an 85% chance of filling that out in a season. So it's just winning races and winning them well, winning high levels against good horses, just like pushing the horse to the absolute limit and it coming out clear each time is how you fill out your potential. So if you're keeping it to like a 15%, which from 75 would go up to 90, then that's realistic for a season. If you're looking here at 25%, you've got no chance of filling that out. So you'll have a yearling with a bar like this, for example, is amazing because you've got a really, really fast horse as a yearling because potential is really high. But you race this 2-year-old season, you're filling about 15% out, you're not going to get another jump. So when it's here, it doesn't matter because you've been 90, and then as a 3-year-old, you fill that 90 to 100, and suddenly, you've got a really nice horse. It's got max potential at 3. But if this was 50, and this was 75, then you're getting to 65 as a 2-year-old, and then you're only getting to 75 as a 3-year-old because that's where this light green bar was as a 2-year-old. You didn't fill it. It's not going to change as a 3-year-old. Your limit's still going to be there till you reach it, which means max as a 3-year-old, 75% across. You're not really going to get much. Again, even that 65, that'll put you at like 80 to 85, which is good enough to run Triple Crowns, but probably not good enough to win Triple Crowns, at least not consistently. So a bar like this in the breeding barn does scare me because I do see it breed that way a lot. Sweet King Braze, I think really good, but again, we really need like a lot of cruising burst, which is nice here. We need a lot of extra speed as well. So kind of seeing how that plays out, but I do also, like I say, feel maybe not breeding from Violetta after all. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's where everything is right now. And we are going to open up with the first hurrah as we lead off with this little grade 3 for our 2-year-old. And we see a pink triangle. And we see a pink triangle. And we're starting off with a pink triangle. It's not the worst in the world. It's bad, though. Little night race, 5 furlongs. Couple of nice horses in this one, apparently. We're not favourites. and the tipsters kind of back one horse. I'm not going to read out the field because it's so short a race. We're not even going to get very far. We're going to go towards the back. And again, short race probably isn't the best, especially being as wound up. That's a lot of stamina to get up, a lot of stamina to go, and we're sweating and agitated before it. And that's what you're seeing here towards the end. We're not having any sort of shot just because we've got that pink triangle. Now, the reason why I'm so pissed at that pink triangle, and I really am, is because we're not excitable. Now, you can have different dispositions from laid back, normal, to excitable, to very excitable. And those correlate usually to bigger chances of blue triangle, no triangle, pink triangle, which we've got here, and red triangle. The amount of horses I've had that are normal or laid back recently over the last couple of saves that have been pink triangles going into an inordinate amount of races is crazy. Especially when you double down on this thinking and you realize, oops, that this right here is specifically the mechanic to reduce the chance of pink and blue triangles. So I don't have excitable horses. I've got help to stop them from being excitable in the paddock. And then I'm getting a lot of pink triangles recently. I'm not truly understanding how that works. But we're seeing a lot of them, and they are affecting us in some big races that we should win and we should do something in. And it's very annoying. Between the stable virus, which I used to see once every sort of 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe. You know, it was quite a while between them and very short. I'm thinking back across my 2 saves in the last sort of 5 seasons. In two saves, which would be 10 years. I think I've had like 7 or 8 stable viruses. 2 of which were short, like they normally are, the 2 weeks. Most of them were about a month. One was like 2.5 months. So I don't know why that is, but there's some really weird stuff happening in my games across multiple saves, multiple schedules, multiple countries, and also split between flat and jumps racing. I don't quite know why. Maybe there's been a little tweak or a little hot fix or something that I'm not aware of. Something just doesn't sit right with a lot of that. And because of that, it does throw me for a loop quite often. It really does. Because I don't quite understand what's going on. And I hate not understanding what's going on. There's going to be a reason for it. And if there's a reason for it, that's fair enough. I'll be able to understand it and maybe adapt to it, possibly. Maybe not. But it feels like I'm not given that choice right now, which is, yeah, really annoying. I need good runs here. I need good runs here. We need to kind of prove who we are, what we're doing, etc. Trip down under. We're going to Flemington. Demolition Damager. And Tidal Force. This is one I thought maybe about not running, but we are fit. And we are good. We don't have a race for a month or so. We should be the best horse in the field. Canadian Grade 1, ungraded Brit. 3 ungraded domestics. And 5 Grade 1s. A couple of which are in pretty good form. Scooby Profile looks like good form. Grade 1, domestic, 1 at the course and at the distance, and is a 123. Silk Island is fancy a little more. I don't know. They're unraced this year. Form wasn't bad last year. Like I think I'd fear Scooby more than Ellen right here. And then record Artful. So I think the right trio is here, but like Scooby might be being slept on a touch. I guess he has just lengthened his odds out to match Ellen, so yeah, both of them get 1 tipster, we get 2 tipsters. Neither of them are affected, we're not affected. Yeah, we just send. We just full send then. So Tidal Force is already running well this year. I don't think this is a big enough race or a good enough field to gain rating. So I don't think this plays too much into 140 unless we lose. Like we've only got stuff to lose, but I'm still going to run the horses. I'm not going to try and game the system to try and engineer a Grade 1 win that'll help us. And you know, I don't want to limit their racing, basically. I don't just want to go for those races where we'll limit any losses and we'll definitely get, a chance at getting a race win and bumping up our rating semi-artificially. I don't want that at all. So, Mushy Cavalry, Stormswell, Salvi, Infel, Majestic, Scooby is in there, Mr. Jordan, Pierce, Trigger, Help Me Ronda Robrom, Ladina Bops, Artful, Record Artful's there. Silk Ellen is done, and we've just kind of not pulled away, but we are coming through. We do take the race here at Flemington. We do win in a tight race where I don't think it should have been a tight race. But we never seemed to kick on. Neither did everybody else, though. It felt everybody rode even. Everybody kind of held position. Scooby does come second, but how much of that is Ellen pulling up injured, although they were at the back for most of the race? The only thing that really happened in this race, Mushy Cavalry was up near the front and just fell back quite a lot. In fact, so much I thought they'd come up with an injury. Solid. It all depends how much you think that this is a really good horse. If this is a really good horse, then we can feel really good about our win. If this is an average horse, then we don't feel pretty good about our win. And we did run okay. We did win. I'm not sure what the field's really like. We have raced against Help Me Ronda before. I don't feel that's too bad. I don't know. Yeah, we do hold on 127. We've held that for so long now. Interesting. We do get a blue triangle on Demolition Damager, which isn't as bad, but can be. Jacardo is here. That's the big threat. Ballygally Duplex, another good horse, but yeah, very inconsistent, I'll say. I think that's the best description for Ballygally. Very, very inconsistent. Of the domestics, Esoterica Globe, the best for sure. Greg is a grade one winner, hasn't raced this year, didn't really do much even last year. The ungraded haven't raced this year for them, still didn't even do much last year. Yeah, I think it's Jacardo, who hasn't done well this year, but it is the big threat. And yeah, Globe gets one, we get one, Jacardo gets 2 tips. Greg is carrying a little condition, so that's one of the domestic grade ones. We're very calm. Sometimes that's bad, sometimes it's not. Everyone's okay, we're fit. I mean, I'll kind of take it. I will kind of take it. But I would expect us, Jacardo, and Globe, Ballygally to be the top 4. Maybe Greg to take 5th place if they're carrying a little condition. That might hold them back a little bit. Flemington for race 2. The Australian Cup. Class 1 grade 1 for 3-year-olds and older upon the turf over a mile 2. Say we do know some of these horses. We do feel good about our horse, but we did not get a great race the last time round. And we are going to go towards the back on the inside. Dangers of getting blocked. We do move to the outside. I prefer that. That's good jockey work in my estimation. Esoterica Globe at the front. Ballygally and Jacardo in behind. That is the danger trio. Ithaca Post, Sterling de Hermite, Five Frano, Greg, Township at the rear. We've moved up into position for the turn. How do we run now towards the end? Greg on the outside. We are going to go. The field is going to go. Ithaca Post. I don't know where they've come from, but they are going to go. And you know what? Somehow, the unknown horse, Ithaca Post, comes through and takes that. I don't really know why. All the good horses there seem to kind of get into position. And then none of them went, including us. None of us went. And Ithaca went a little earlier and just held it. I don't fully know. Globe fell off, but we know Globe can do. Jacardo couldn't get going. Ballygally was just done pretty early. That's not the race I expected to see. Like, these two I thought would be in the mix. These two I thought would be in the mix. They're all a bit back. Frano actually came up and did pretty dang well. And Ithaca gets their first grade 1 win after doing absolutely nothing last season. And is an excitable horse, so always has a chance of that pink triangle. Low rating. Just a really weird race there. And we have not enjoyed our trips down under. 3rd in New Zealand by about 1.5. 2nd in Australia, 1.25. I didn't expect both. I don't think we deserve to expect both. But I do feel that we expected slightly better runs. It's good that we haven't lost rating, but again, we haven't gained any rating. Not that I'm fully expecting to. Yeah, again, we're just good. We're not great this season, and I did think we'd have a little more out of our 4-year-olds early. maybe they're not that good. To be fair, coming into this, I had a lot of hope for Tidal Force at a mile, and I had a lot of hope at Promise Princess at a mile 4. So the 2-mile race not going our way doesn't change that. I really like Demolition Damager. They're running well. They're just not able to quite win some of these. And Much Demure just got absolutely screwed with the stable virus and being agitated in the paddock and getting slightly blocked off in the race. So, yeah, there's a lot that went wrong in that one race. So if we kind of view that as an anomaly, then we can feel confident. But the sad thing is, the way the season's gone so far, I don't know how much confidence I have in these two horses now. Mile 7 for Promise Princess. It's not far off distance. Mile 1 for Much Demure should be on distance. Really. If Much Demure doesn't win this, and then especially if they don't win the Dubai World Cup, then I'm going to feel really bad about not putting Tidal Force in for the World Cup trio. I'm going to feel really bad because I think they can get a mile 1. I just felt Much Demure deserved the shot and was as good, but with the stamina bar out of mile 1. Kind of need to be proved right here, or I might feel I've screwed up the entire season. Yeah, if we don't win these, if we don't run well, if we don't win, if we don't look like we're doing anything, then I might have severely messed up the 4-year-old booking for this year. If Damager can't win at a mile 2 consistently, if Much Demure just isn't up to the challenge at 1 mile 1 in these 3 big races, and if Promise Princess isn't at the distance I think she is, we might have issues. That would only leave us Tidal Force at a mile. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I thought about jockey instructions. I think we are a mile 6 horse, mile 7 horse anyway. I think we've got 2 miles comfortably before. It does seem to be a touch too much distance, but I think this is in our wheelhouse. So, the Saudi Turf, Class 1, Grade 1 for 4-year-olds here at the King Abdulaziz Racetrack in Saudi Arabia. 1 mile 7 furlong. The big precursor, the distance race before we get to the Saudi Cup. We've got an inside draw, and we get out okay. Not too bad. Low-rated field, one sort of decent rating in here, but we don't know the horses. We don't know the distances. We haven't checked. It wouldn't really matter too much. We go out to the front door. The rest of the field right there. Halstat Conquest, Chocolate Chorus, Evermore Edgy in the Yellow Silk, out to Kitten on Sweevy, Blue Silks. Back inside then, at the back, the Dark Horse, Johans, Facendo, and Trafalgar, originally in the Blue Silk, Pale Horse, just disappearing from camera. We have 5 on screen right now, kind of spread out, almost in a line. Facendo has gone. Chocolate Chorus starting to make a little move on the inside of Evermore, who moves out wide to accommodate. Chorus getting set up. We are 3 furlongs from home. Rounding the final turn and onto the home stretch. Here will come the push, but who will it come from? How will Promise Princess respond if they do? At the final furlong marker, then, we've got about a length and a half to 2 lengths lead. Halstar Conquest is starting to come down the home stretch here, pushing for the line, getting up, getting towards us. Not going to manage to head us out here, though. We're going to hold on to it. Not a very nice race to watch. Not a comfortable one. Not a fun one, again. We seem to just be running even pace the entire way, rather than having a push at the line. I don't know how I feel about that. Conquest, a very good run from them. 90 rated. They had a pink triangle, which I didn't notice, but they did actually have a pink triangle. I don't know whether you can actually see it that well, but yeah. Not a very high-rated horse. Hasn't really done much up until now. Probably was on distance. We were probably slightly off distance. But I would expect a bigger winning margin than that. Lack of competition, lack of winning margin. We stay on our 128. Yeah. I don't know exactly how I feel about that one. But it is a win. And I like that because I do think we've got another 2-miler coming up. But apart from that, all the mile 4s, Promise Princess will be running jockey instructions. She will be challenging earlier to make up for the fact that she's at least a mile 5. 99% sure she's a mile 6. Slight off chance she's a mile 7. And so I think challenge earlier will get us in a good position at a mile 4. We can run. We can possibly get on a good rhythm for those. So if we're just winning enough, I'll be happy. Doesn't need to win everyone, but we should be highly competitive and we should be winning enough to kind of boost the ratings, get some big races under our belt, and at the end of the day, you know, get some good graded wins under the belt and just boost the record too. So we're not tipped, but Ping and Dinkum, we do know, are good horses. Irie Breen is a solid horse, not a great horse, but sweating badly and agitated. Which is a little bit of a shame for them because they are currently the winners of the only World Cup race this season. So they were going to go into the Saudi and maybe try the triple. That's now highly unlikely. One domestic horse, 93 rated. I say, Irie Breen out of this one. Tamim Minor, grade 2, don't really know it. Doesn't look like in good form. Maybe is something, but I don't know. The rest of the field is pretty good, though. Altese Ping is a solid horse. Not my major threat in this one, but a very solid horse. More Sweets Glass is a good horse. Not a great horse, but a good horse. And could be a real threat here. Mekong Dinkum could be a big threat here as well. These are the two I'm really worried about. Saudi World Cup, at the Saudi Cup meeting, King Abdul Aziz Racetrack, 1 mile 1 furlong, class 1 grade 1 for 4-year-olds and older on dirt. Very rich, very prestigious race here in Saudi Arabia. The second of the 3 World Cups. Irie Breen, it's going to take a miracle for them to complete the trio. Much Demure, not fancied at all by the bettors after 8th place, but that's not a fair reflection, I don't think, in that first race in Florida, the Gulfstream World Cup. And so we'll see what we do. And again, Ping and Dinkum and Glass, 3 fantastic horses. To me, Minor will come to the front with us, though. Back to Ping in third place, that green belt around the waist. Irie Breen, the winner of that first leg. Then Dinkum, More Sweets, Glass. They are both side by side, running wide, trying to get going. Mojave High at the back. We do go early. We do drive out here. But can we keep distancing horses? Who's going to come up from the back? Who's going to make a big push here? At the furlong marker, now we're seeing horses coming through. More Sweets, Glass, Altis, Ping, both flying up. And I don't think we're going to hold on to this. Just about. Oh my God, there was a slight push right at the death. Much Demure pushes up, pushes out. More Sweets, Glass was coming at quite the clip. And they didn't really slow down, but we found an extra half a length in us just to make sure we got up and stayed up. That's the horse that I thought Much Demure was. That's the horse that I saw last season in some races and figured, yeah, we can do this. Yes, it makes sense. We can keep Tidal Force at a mile, and we can run Much Demure in the World Cups and at a mile 1. It's so annoying the way that the Pegasus that happened. Like I say, the stable virus, the slight agitation, and the slight blockage. I'm really happy we win this one. Do we get back to where we were? No, but we get close. From 132 down to 129, now up to 131. The chance to get maybe a 134 with the Dubai World Cup, maybe 135, depending on the field, and if we win it in style. And so many races here, we can win 1 or 2 points, but I'm not sure if 140 is on the table, sadly. Now, if we had won the Pegasus, I think we might be a 133 after it. I don't think it would be a big jump, but we definitely wouldn't have gone backwards. So let's say 133. We still gain our 3 here. Or sorry, 2 here. 135. And then we can gain 2 or 3 from the Dubai World Cup. And that puts you so close that the odd point euro there across the rest of the season is how you get to 140. And that's just how brutal getting to 140 can be, because wins might not gain you anything, might gain you a point, 2, 3, 4 at most in a lot of these races, especially when you're already high rated. It's very difficult to get new points on top. But one loss can lose you 3 or 4 in an instant. And it's going to take you 4 or 5 races to get those back, unless it's another big race. And at that point, you are just moving back and forth and kind of staying still. And you don't like to stay still. What have you done? What have you done? You don't come from anything. You haven't fooled anyone that's raced. You've got really nice pedigree on both sides. Every single person, every single horse has earned money. Tiny bits of money, but money. And a grade 3 falling a grade 3, grade 1 falling a grade 1 with more money. Like, that's interesting to me. That's an interesting horse. Money on the filly side. Tiny bit of money here. But grade 3 to grade 1 to grade... to grade 2 to grade 1. People have run, but they haven't won. Good grade 1 winner, falling a good grade 1 winner. Tiny bit of money on this side too, so yeah, the breeding's not bad on those two. grade 2 winner that's fallen to grade 3, but nobody's got a great record. Breeding with a grade 3. Won a maiden. Just about. I don't know entirely what I feel about that. A couple of grade winners. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna pick up these 2 yearlings. Kind of see where it's going. Multiple bidders, price flying up. Expected the break point to be about 5.3. It's at 5.3. So that's normally at least not a cause for concern. Maybe not a good sign, but not a cause for concern. Yeah, this one's a little cheaper, and I think only 2 other bidders, one of which backed out right away. I'll take a look at them first. But I do like this lineage. I think this is so nice. Like, there's so much money and prestige through this bloodline. And then, like, everybody's earned money apart from one horse down here as well. And on this, slightly different, but grade 3 into a grade 2 into a grade 1, there's a lot of money. It kind of gives you some hope. And yeah, like 80% extra speed is really nice. 50% cruising burst, really nice. No finish. I hate that. Consistency, that can play a big, big part as well in the season. So we don't love this, but we really, really like these 2. Big problem though. We've got a ton of potential, yes, but as I was talking about earlier, and this is an excellent point for it, as a yearling, we got 55 ability, as I would call it, the realized potential. And we can get up to 80. You're not going to get 25 in a season. That's just not going to happen. So you're probably going to get 15, which means at the end of your 3-year-old season, or, well, at the end of your 2-year-old season, you're likely at most going to get about a 70 to 75%. So you're never going to hit this place and finish out the potential as a 2-year-old, which means this cap is going to stay 99% of the time. It's going to stay for your 3-year-old season. So even if you get all the way, you get your 20% jump, you get a 75%, the max you're going to be at 3-year-old is going to be an 80%, which again isn't really that high quality. So that's why I don't like these. I'd much prefer this horse to have had this light green cap at about 70, because then I'll feel comfortable. Yes, we can make this 15% jump up to 70 at the end of the 2-year-old. We then get a brand new cap. It might be 75. It might even be 70. But there's a potential for it to be 80, 85 onwards. And another 15 jump takes us to 80. We end up with a better 3-year-old, even though this cap here of absolute potential is lower. It's all about what's realistically able to achieve for growth. And this isn't. And that's why I'm getting rid of that horse. A couple of other things as well, to be sure. Like, I hate it because I love this. And it's almost there. It's almost there. Monarchy, again, I love this. This is okay. This is okay. But this should be enough to carry me through as well. Oops. Myla, I'd take a Myla. And yeah, again, like, a yearling with 70 potential isn't bad, but I kind of need 55 to 60 ability to make that jump. Because right now we're under 45. So again, what are we expecting to get here? Like maybe 60-ish at the end of the 2-year, which means at the end of the 3-year, we're only ever going to be 70. Even if these bars were amazing, it's just never going to be a good horse. So once again, lesson 482 in how not to buy horses at auctions. Even if all the signs point to the right way, it's likely not going to work out the way you want them to work out. He says going in to check another auction because it's Friday and you've got to check those. I mean, realistically, the only one that's never worth buying from is a 2-year-old auction. The yearlings can be worth it, but are very hit and miss. The Fridays and the breeding are probably your best chance to find something really nice, but only grade 1 winners and horses that have won multiple grades. That then becomes your indicators, because they've actually proved it in game, hopefully multiple times, hopefully at grade 1 level. But why would they ever come up to auction? They shouldn't, realistically, but sometimes they do in real life, and here they do a decent amount of time too. So the example we have now bred from Dragon. So solid horse, kind of done everything we want to do. I am going to go ahead and retire. I'm making the decision right now. Violetta's not going to breed because of the issue with that potential bar again. And that means Braze next season is going to get a chance to breed unless we find someone that's really, really good in our list here that we want to go after. And I don't think there really is, because we've bred with most of these as testers and they didn't really show up. The only one that's really tempting is Spanish Treasure. That's kind of tempting just because of the fee. I don't know why the fee is that high. It's got a good average earnings. It's full of a decent amount of winners from a decent size pool. That's probably why. But Box and Ash looks roughly the same there as well. There's like a lot more grade 3 winners. I'd probably prefer to breed from Barkston Ash. My problem with that is when you're breeding with older horses, there's a chance their potential has degraded or their ability is degraded, and so the jump to potential is big, which can lead you with those massive pale bars on your potential again for your youngsters. It has multiple really good horses and grade 1 winning horses, so maybe it could be okay. I'm not sure. I don't have to worry about this right now anyway. So like this is a next season problem to evaluate. I should be off this screen now because this does lag out a lot more on that screen. Cool. Does mean that we can just pretty much get on to racing unless anyone crazy comes up at auction. I do feel that we've got a lot of these horses though already watched. I don't know why I checked often. I got no idea why we checked often. I also want younger horses, so I'm only checking younger horses. Yeah, if there's If it's just this blue icon, we're okay. Because this means that they're no longer in the game and they've died or they've been retired. And if they're a gelding, they'll have a G overlaid on it. And if they're not a gelding, doesn't matter what age they want. So any pink horses of the right age, I will go for. And any blue horses of the right age that don't have any overlay on. Just means it's really easy to do quite quickly. And we are fully topped off in terms of good horses there. More Sweets Glass, I'm not going to buy if she comes up to auction because I already have in a tester game. So I already have. And then Dinkum's there. Hobby, that would be a nice one to add to the list. All these 3 and 4-year-olds who are multiple grade ones. A 5-year-old has won multiple grades. Don't mind that. So, yeah. Wow, it took 3 times to diagnose, and then it's luxations, which again, we've seen an absolute ton of time. 9 weeks. That probably puts us at the start of June before we can race Hurrah, which isn't the worst in the world, but does delay a little bit. We have maxed out our potential though, right? That's pretty much where we want to be. There's a good chance we do jump, and as a 3-year-old, even if it's just like a 10% jump, we'll be up to like be able to get to 90%. So it's not the worst in the world. Life Quest, again, in exactly that same position. A lot of low bars here, but high extra speed, high potential. It does give you a shot. It really, really does. Don't mind that. Only 2 unbeaten horses. One horse has run 3 times. Sorry, 2 horses run 3 times. 4 have only run twice. And yet we're already at the point where only 2 horses are unbeaten. Tidal Force does feel like high tide. A lot. But now we're going down in distance to 7 furlongs, and we're opening up the New Zealand Triple Crown as a 4-year-old. Tipsters say us, K-Fru King as well. Cowalino, a little lazy. His heliotastic swords could look fitter. We're parading well and fit. That's nice as well. Midship Maid sweating badly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. K-Fru is the 3-year-old. A 3-year-old with 2 Grade 1 wins. Actually running the Triple Crown. Everyone else is overaged. Yeah, they could be an issue. They could be a problem, maybe. Just maybe. I am going to say challenge earlier, just on the basis that we are a miler that reaches to a mile 1. So 7 furlong, we should be able to get down to this. That was my idea with running this New Zealand Triple Crown here. I figured we could get down to it. So leg 1 of the New Zealand Triple Crown then. 7 furlong, Tarazino Trophy, Class 1, Grade 1 for 3-year-olds and older upon the turf as the course just shook crazily around the turn. Huge field, huge expectations. Califro is a good horse as a true 3-year-old. Everyone else, as I say, older. We go up towards the front on the inside, then drop back into position against the rail. in prime position to be blocked off by the trio ahead of us and the horses outside of us. Can we move and get where we want to go? No, we go all the way up to the inside. Do we have room to step out? We do. This could be interesting. False follow is there then. Launchpad ship, swords, midship maid, craft, Califu is on the outside, not yet making a move, but they are up in position. They are not going to be able to do anything, though. They finish mid-pack, as probably should be expected from a 3-year-old. It didn't look comfortable. It didn't look nice. It didn't look impressive. But off distance, we got through. We navigated a tricky position against the rail at the back, to be fair. Got up, got out, moved up and back on the inside, and then up on the outside of false follow to get into the lead. And then just everybody drove for the line about the same. I don't mind that run at all. I think that was very, very good. And I was very worried about this race, if I'm honest, because, again, I don't expect my 2-year-olds to stay unbeaten. The only shot at an unbeaten season is Tidal Force, realistically. And this is a good race for them to maybe come undone, being off distance, a Triple Crown race, bit of prestige, decent field. We do hold the 127. We've had it since October. Well, we would have gained it in September of last year. And we're still there now. But a good horse and a good run. And I don't mind that at all. I feel pretty good about it. What's Life Quest going to do next? I think that's the question. I wonder if Ferrari's going to jump by the time we get back to them in a few months. That would be interesting. That would kind of help out a lot if they could. That would help out a lot. I do like this horse. I think there's definitely something here. Yeah, there's only one graded race. It is at 6. It is another grade 2. Kind of plays in quite nicely. It's 26th, 27th, and then the double header on the 28th. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think that's solid position here. I've just remembered as well, you can heal quicker and get horses readier by putting them out in the field. So we probably should do that. And then not forget the Hara is out in the field, which would totally be a me thing to do. Life Quest, grade 1. 2 out of 2, the only graded race, graded horse, the only rated horse. Everyone's 2, everyone's on weight. We're the only horse to win a race, and we've won 2. We are the favourites. We should just be tipped across the board, and we're coping well and fit. Field doesn't seem to have any issues. Realistically, one horse a little calm, and that is it. Little grade 2. 6 furlongs, exactly what we've won before. We should be the quality of the field. We should be able to get this done. We're going to move towards the front, the dark horse, in between Balcio Rosso, Woodwind, Stardust, and Etab Friends, joined by Tenzing Pacific in the red silks there. Vital D'Amour on the inside. Macmillan Footnote, Osmoth Wealth, Tandro Day to Dream, Mosaic Walk, all there. But we just keep pushing out, pushing up. Footnote comes through really well at the end. But never a danger, never an issue. 4 lengths, drove out. Love that. Up to a 91 rating. Back-to-back grade 2 wins. After that maiden win. I quite like that. I feel that's where we want to be. And it does open up grade 1s later on in this season to move over the 100 rating and get a grade 1. could be set up. I don't think this is an amazing horse by any stretch of the imagination. Low confidence, low enthusiasm, low consistency. What a terrible trio that is. Terrible trio. But it's a good horse that has speed. And his bars here aren't that bad. We don't start amazingly well, but we run really well. There's potentially issues. But right now it's enough. Right now it's getting the job done. Right now that pure speed is getting us through. But if any issues hit, my God, that's not going to end well for us. Hastings again. Tidal Force. Pink triangle. Pink triangles. So many pink triangles. So many pink triangles. We're not excitable. We've got the paddock help. Why are there so many pink triangles? Why? We're sweating badly. This could just be done. I don't even want to watch this. Windsor Park Plate. Class 1 Grade 1. Over a mile. Second leg of the New Zealand Triple Crown. 3 rows and above on the turf. Here at Hastings. We go towards the back. I hate that pink triangle when there's no reason for it to be there. Certainly not as often as it's appearing on all these horses that aren't excitable. Like, what is this? Why? We're so far back. We need a rocket ship right now. Come in fourth. Just in behind. Just pink triangle killed us. Like, that's our Triple Crown done. The only Triple Crown we run this season, it's done. It's over with. Consuela Blaze to be auctioned. Okay. Grade 1, Grade 2, Grade 3. Myla. If she's anything, with the Santa Rita Derby in the future, do I have a Kentucky Derby contender? Do I have a runner? April the 1st. I mean, I was going to call it there before this race on the back of a disappointment. But I got to see what's there at the auction. I have to see what's there at the auction. Promise Princess, the Shima Classic. Challenge earlier. Don't trail. Best horse in the field. We're off distance, but the jockey instruction should help, and we are the class horse in this field. So, Dubai Shima Classic, Class 1, Grade 1 for 4-year-olds upon the turf at the Meydan Racecourse in Dubai. 1 mile 4. We get out of the gate so late. Absolutely hate that, but we do work our way up to the front with Lexington Quantum and Namid Center, dropping back now to Petite Nua and Style Lugana, the trio of Yellow Silks. Granny Sultan on the outside of Give Islands and Line Escape on camera. Off camera, Bohemian Maria, B44 Sable, Future Fund, and Custard Maidan. We do drop back to the chasing pack before moving up. We are getting up and in position quite well. The long left-hand turn, half a mile from home. Everybody now jockeying into position for this sprint finish. Couple dropping back. Namid is with us. 1.5 from home then. Namid and ourselves chasing down Lexington Quantum. Who's got the push at the final furlong line? We're about a length behind Lexington Quantum. We need to dig deep. We need to go. We need to fight. We need to find something here. Final half a furlong. Promise Princess kicks on. Drives out to the line. Takes the Shima Classic. That's what we want to see. A nice run at a mile 4 in a big race. Not a huge field, but it should be enough. A poor start, got into position well, didn't really go early, didn't gain ratings, but we do have 10 Group 1 wins now. And the best thing after the 10 show, I can lock those jockey instructions in and just run the rest of this season. And 4 rating points are possible at the King George and Queen Elizabeth, at the Arc de Triomphe, and at the Japan Cup. We're not going to get 4 points at each, but those are possibilities. And if we did get 4 at those 3, that would hit 140. Wins the rest of the way, just stop us going backwards. We probably pick up a couple of other points along the way, but that does give us, I think, the best schedule to get to 140 out of our 4-year-olds, along with Much Demure, because this will be boosted. The rest of the schedule is pretty poor for them, though. 3 horses are wound up. Don't know much of the field. Dinkum is here. Apart from that, again, nothing I supremely worry about. Dinkum has a pink triangle. That should discount them. And so the third of the 3 races, screwed out of the first, win the second, and we're back again. Much Demure in the Dubai World Cup Class 1 Grade 1 for 4-year-olds upon the dirt track at Meydan. 1 mile, 2 furlongs. Keep the race for 140 alive. We're out the gates okay on the inside, and we are going to push up now then into the lead. Traffic Shang, Andrea must have known of dropping back on this near side. Kobalai, Foot, Garmuche, Ingabel. Haven't seen them for a couple of races. Maraba, Syntax, Advancement, Trovato, Spider East. Back to Mekong Dinkum on that green silks right at the back of the picture there. Swansbrook, Tara, Kinlet, Lily disappearing from camera now. Donald Fandango last and distance as we come round the turn on to the home stretch. We don't have a huge lead here, and horses are going. We need Much Demure to kick on. We need them to find that final furlong fury. Andreo must have now making the most of this, driving towards the line. Much Demure is done. They're dropping back. They're dropping off. They're dropping into 5th, into 6th. Absolutely hated that run. Wow, what a poor run. Hate that. Hate that. No reason for it either. No reason for it either. Slightly off distance, but we should have been able to get the distance. It is the only mile 2 that we would run. We take the Saudi World Cup, 6th at the Dubai World Cup, and 8th in crazy circumstances for the Pegasus World Cup. Not really what we wanted to see. And that brings us all the way back down to 127. So losing Pegasus dropped us 3 points. We gained 2 of those back for the Dubai World Cup. For the Saudi World Cup. And then we lose 4 points. And that 100% kills any shot at 140. And I don't care about any of these races. I don't care about any of those races. 7 Group 1 wins. I see more use in the breeding barn. I do. I see more use in the breeding barn. Sadly, I've already got rid of Dragon because I wasn't expecting to do this. Oh, do you know sometimes when you like mess up and it really doesn't work out your way? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How do we find ourselves easily? Just 2-0 and scroll down. Like we might as well just breed you the braze. Oh, yeah. Okay. Love that for us. Love that for us. Don't care about that auction. Don't care. Don't care. Care about this. Give me something. Give me something. Nice roll number. 3 million. Consuela, Blaze. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe for luck. Leave a comment. Is Consuela Blaze good enough? Are they possibly good enough? Distance isn't there, but booked in the Santa Anita Derby, there's a chance maybe she jumps. Lineage. Imperial Walter is good. Not much on this side, but a grade 3 winner. I'm not feeling lucky. Oh, okay then. Doesn't have a full finish application. It's got decent extra speed, decent cruising burst. It's capped out its potential at 85, which is runnable. It's not super impressive, but it's runnable. That mile is a little dodgy. It is a little dodgy. I was really expecting this because of the Santa Rita Derby to be more like a mile one, and then I was gonna just full send the US Triple Crown. The answers on the postcard. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. But Blaze does have a chance here. We actually have a 3-year-old we can run Triple Crowns with. I know we've got 8 Triple Crowns to run after, the New Zealand one blew up, which sadly would have been on distance for Blaze quite nicely. US and Canada, mile 2, mile 110 yards, mile 4. Doesn't really feel like it fits. I kind of want to run the Kentucky Derby. I always want to run the Kentucky Derby. It's my favorite race. But after that, we move into June and July. France, Australia, South Africa. 1 mile, 1 mile 2, 1 mile 4. South Africa, mile 1, 1 mile 4. That kind of feels like it might fit better. That does kind of feel like it fits better. The best thing about that as well is we can try US Canada and still get 2 weeks to go into France, Australia, or more likely South Africa. And then if we still haven't jumped, we could run the first legs of Ireland or the UK Triple Crowns, run the 2,000 guineas. And at the end of August, the opener for Japan is a mile 2. So even if we're not getting full Triple Crowns, we don't have distance really to even attempt them, I've got a runner that I can send to the Kentucky Derby and just hope like hell. Someone that can win possibly 2 legs in South Africa. someone then that can also win the opening legs of either UK, Ireland, and maybe towards the end of August get up to a mile 2 by that point to run the Satsuki show, which is Japanese first leg. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, but I was not expecting this to come good. I wasn't expecting it to be anything. But it is, and we have a 3-year-old we can run. That's nuts. A 3-year-old that's that good at an auction with a grade 3, grade 2, and a grade 1 comes in second at another grade 1, grade 3, grade 2. So we should possibly be 2-2-2. That's being lined up for Santa Anita. That'll give us a test, see if we can get anything beyond a mile. Because if we can get a mile 1, I'd be surprised. But I feel pretty good about this horse. This is the gift that we needed this season. Like, Title Force, somehow, some reason, just didn't do well. Lost their unbeaten record. Pretty much dead as far as the 140 race concerned. Same with Demolition Damager, Promise Princess. We sent Much Demure to the breeding barn because she was so far off it. Life Quest looks really good. Hurrah in the field, recovering from a big injury. Not much apart from Life Quest is going as you'd want it. And all of a sudden, Blaze is here. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but I'm not sure exactly how we're going to run it. But that is a question for another day, and a question you can have your feedback on. So I will see you next time for more fun and games. Please do leave a comment, like, subscribe. Again, we are pushing towards that 1,000 mark. I hope that you'll come back and see more fun and games with this. Just madness, absolute madness of a season that we're already in. April 1st, I mean, I don't like that the game's April 1st right now either. Oh my god, it just feels like a sign somehow. But yeah, thanks very much for being part of this journey. I hope that you stick with us and enjoy the wild ride. Until next time, though, take care, stay safe, all the very best to you. I'll see you so soon.